Oh, how are you? How's it going? Happy month 85 of 2021. I um it's funny. I keep making these plans to exit from social media and I did a couple times, but then there keeps being things happening that I find myself compelled to explore, see what's out there, try to find a solution within myself and reflect in myself and see what's alive, and then see if any of my sharing of it will help any of you. And I hope it is. I see people coming in. Hello, thank you for being here. Um, this is going to be this is going to be when you're going to want to tag your friends in or share. I'm going to talk about All Lives Matter, white terrorism, and Black reactions that I've been seeing. Um, and I have to say, I'm very embarrassed right now. Um, please support by giving, likes and hearts, so I know that you're there. Um, so we are witnessing the fallout right now after white terrorism that happened in Atlanta. And I think it's important to name it for what it is, white terrorism. And I think it's okay for all of us to be calling it white terrorism. It does not mean that all white people are terrorists, but this is white terrorism. I think that, um, naming things gives it the impact that um, that could be helpful to ignite people in um, helping support or create a better helping activate their emotions and the vibrations in them to get people active in creating a better world for all of us. And so what I wanted to talk to you today about, um, I have noticed some things that have made me very embarrassed, and in my own communities on social media, um, with melanated people, and that is the focus as a reaction to this terrorist attack, where I believe 6 Asian people were executed. um, that there was a reaction of from my melanated brothers and sisters of focusing on all of the ways that Asians have exploited or oppressed Black people. And it's embarrassing to watch. And I want to be really specific about what I'm talking about here, because you can take any one thing I'm saying right now out of this video, or not really listening to the whole message and not understand what I'm saying. And it's going to sound not right if you don't listen to the whole thing. Um, what embarrasses me and what I think is a cowardly act, and I also understand that sometimes this reaction comes out of trauma, is that there was white terrorism born out of white supremacism and a lot of other things, but these two things are also true. And that type of terrorism hurts all marginalized communities. It also hurts. It also hurts white people too, because we all have to be in this together. So, but we're focusing right now on that this white terrorism is targeted, and people lose lives and blood is spilled in marginalized communities. Um, this week it was directed at an Asian community, and um, I'm seeing my melanated brothers and sisters start talking about the nasty things or the oppressive things that Asian people have done to Black people as a reaction, and that is embarrassing to me. Um, I understand that it can be a trauma response, but I also know that for some people, um, this is really, I mean, I might have to start talking about mental health issues, but what is the intention is my question. What is the end game in doing that? Because to me, when I see people posting about all the terrible things this week, when I see my melanated brothers and sisters posting all the things about how Asians have hurt them, and the not great things that people Asian people have done, that is the same as the all lives matter energy. That's the same as when a black man is gunned down in the street and people say, oh well, he had a prior record. When a little black girl is killed and they say, oh well, she was selling drugs on the store, she was stealing food. Black on black violence. What is your intention? Because if we really want white supremacism to end, if we really want to build justice for all of us, then what is the intention right now? To mention it right now, that's all lives matter bullshit. It's actually internalized white supremacism, because white supremacism dictates that we fight each other for a very little piece of the pie, that we take each other down. It's just feeding the system. And so I want to be clear that what I'm not saying is that we should ignore the issues that are between melanated people, black people, and Asian people. I'm not saying that we should ignore that. Those things should be talked about. Those things are being talked about, especially in the last few months. There should probably be some sort of truth and reconciliations. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff is true. But my question is, why now? What is the intention of bringing those things up as a response to white terrorism on an Asian community? Is it because revenge is waking up in you, or rage is waking up in you, or that you have been wronged by people in the Asian community, and now what? You want to get back at them at a very low hour? If that's the case, if what's coming up in you is those feelings, if it feels appropriate to you right now as a response to white terrorism on these executions that happened, if what feels right to you is to express terrible things about the Asian community, then my suggestion is go work on how you feel with someone who you can trust to work on those to work on those feelings of rage and hatred. Because I promise you, if you approach this world with hatred, it's just going to come back at you. If you really want to be free in this world, if you really want the terrorism and white supremacism to end, it is not going to happen by you performing white supremacism and white terrorism on another minority community. It feels like more terrorism. That's what all lives matter feels like. It just feels like more terrorism. Do you see what I'm saying? I know there are people here. Let me know if you're feeling what I'm feeling, or if it's landing, or you're understanding, or you're curious, or you're interested. Let me know in the comments. So yeah, I'm embarrassed. And I want it to be really clear. Like I say in all my videos, please don't listen to one thing I'm saying. Listen to the whole message, because I'm not ignoring that there are problems and there have been oppressions between our communities. That's not what I'm saying. Again, those things need to be talked about. I'm talking about specifically, very specifically, that there is something that really needs to be looked at within you if your response to this white terrorist execution that just happened, if your response is to focus in on bad things that Asians did or historically have done. That's all lives matter bullshit. That's internalized white supremacism. That's exactly what the system has programmed us to do. People are saying hello, hi, Corina, and Ashley saying, I'm feeling you, and I like what you said in the very beginning about the agenda of white supremacy and other powers that be to pit communities against each other. Yeah, yes, amen. Somebody says, look, not everybody has to be a compassion, has to bypass how they feel and uh, be a compassionate, I don't know, you know, if you can't get to a compassion, that's okay because that's how you feel. It's valid. If what comes up, I want to say that it's valid. If what is happening brings up feelings of your own hatred to another group of people, then it's time to work on that hatred inside yourself. Working on that hatred inside yourself doesn't mean that you never talk about it. I think there's a confusion there that when that's suggested, you know, you need to work on that hatred inside yourself, that means that you have to ignore the issue. It doesn't mean ignoring the issue. It means find out what is causing, what is, how that hatred is stuck inside you, how that's taking away from your quality of life, how you can rebalance that, how you can be grounded so that you can have solution based conversations, so that you can touch compassion even if you've been wronged by a certain group of people. We're not here to ignore the feelings or to say they're invalid. Your experiences are valid, but to throw salt on a wound, this is all lives matter bullshit, and I'm embarrassed by it. So anyway, that's all I really wanted to express. I'm seeing so much of this all lives matter, white supremacism, Asian hatred from this marginalized community that I'm identified in, that I felt like I wanted to put something in the feed that addressed this. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you can look up Oppression Olympics. I put a link in the thing. This doesn't always just happen between Black people and Asian people. This happens between able-bodied people and women. It happens between LGBTQIA plus communities and you know, some other minority. It happens between any group that has some sort of experiences some sort of marginalization from the system. Now, how can I help further? You know, this is the work I do. I create spaces, safe spaces for people to talk about it. I have the Black mentor sessions. I also have deep dive sessions, and for every 3 Black mentor deep dive sessions that I give one away to a woman of color, one free session away to a woman of color. Also, for those of you who are feeling the pressure of like, I want to be an ally. I don't know what to do. I don't have time. Too much pressure. I'm emotionally overwhelmed. I don't even, I know it's a privilege, but then I don't know what to do. And I try things and I get guilty and, you know, all of that. My next month's anti-racism webinar, I'm doing them monthly now, is next month in April. And I put the link for that as well. They are by donation. Register now so you don't forget. And I am committing to bringing something to you that's specifically about Asian communities, helping Asia, being ally in Asian communities as well. This is the other thing, last thing I want to say, is that I know that there's a lot of, the system is giving us this like rhetoric of challenging Black people to now take on the full responsibility of helping the Asian community. And there's a lot of sort of like thumb in cheek type thought that I'm seeing is like, well, if Black people are complaining so much, maybe they should help another minority community. I understand that that's out there. That's low. And I understand that. And I understand that that could maybe be contributing to some of the reactions that I'm seeing. And so my message to you here is this: if you cannot be of service, then please don't throw salt on the wounds. Go work on yourself, or don't engage. Don't throw fuel on the fire. You know what I mean? No, it is not our full responsibility. It is not communities who are marginalized by the system, it is not our full responsibility to unmarginalize ourselves. It is also the responsibility who stand in power positions in the society. However, think about your intention. Are you supporting the situation? Are you making it worse? Sometimes you do need to step back and allow it to happen over there if all you have to offer is more hatred and more white supremacism. So anyway, I hope all of this was clear. Again, you have to watch the whole message. Please don't pull out one thing that I said. If you don't understand, also look, if you don't understand, if you disagree, if you're triggered and you want to converse with me about it, come with respect, come with exploration. I'm just going to block those who have bullying and name calling. I just don't have time for it anymore. For those who are passive aggressive, I can feel it a mile away. I'm just going to block you. You know, if you want to have an explorative conversation with dialogue and listening and hearing each other, then comment. Absolutely. If you have a perspective that you would like to be considered, then please do it without bullying me or any other commentator or the situation itself. That can stay. Everything else goes. I don't have time or effort or energy for anything else besides exploration and curiosity and kindness and love and respect. I cannot hold space anymore for hatred or passive aggressiveness or stupidity or cowardliness. I can't do it. It's embarrassing for me personally. So, okay, that's all I wanted to say. Please tag, like, share if you know anybody who needs to hear this. And blessings to you. Bye bye.